Hello everyone, welcome to the tutorial on completing a system access request form to gain access to CRM. So you're going to take a blank SARF or system access request form. Throughout this, I'm going to refer to this as a SARF, which is just the abbreviation. So once you have your blank SARF, I recommend either opening it in Google Chrome or like I am in Adobe in order to complete it. So first we're going to scroll down here on the first page in section 2. Essentially, whoever is the requester and then later the supervisor will need to sign this after the form is complete. So note, we'll come back to this at the end of this tutorial. So to scroll down to the actual users, we have a quick recap of what the additional permissions and user types are at the top here, if that's helpful for you for both CRM and PD tools, in case you need a quick reminder. So starting on page 3 and section 4 is where you can actually start entering in the user information. So first in section 4A, we're going to include the name, last, comma, first, comma, initial. So if I'm creating one for John M. Doe, it'd be Doe, comma, John, comma, M. And John Doe's preferred email address is doejm@state.gov. Note, whatever preferred email address you have here will be the one that your CRM account is configured to, unless you have, let's say, submit a non-state.gov address. If you do have a state.gov address, though, it will be configured to whatever that is for your access to Okta. So please always include your state.gov email address if you have one. Job title. So we'll say that John Doe is a director. Employment type specifies, is this an American officer? Are they locally employed staff, a contractor, or other? John Doe here is our American officer. His officer post, we're going to say he's in Washington, D.C., but you could put whatever office or post best applies. And his post section we'll say is front office. The time zone, you can specify whatever makes the most sense here and that fits your team. So that is section 4A, the user's basic information. When we scroll down here to section 4B, this is where you can complete additional information regarding the Okta single sign-on. So first asking if you have an existing Okta account. In the case of John Doe, we're going to say yes. Of course, you can say no, and if you aren't familiar, you can just say I don't know. That's not a problem. So section 4B here, 4B, subsection B, asking if they have a Department of State email address. So essentially for John Doe, he already has one. We're going to re-enter that here, doejm@state.gov. For BC, we'll say he does have access to a mobile device and the ability to download the Okta Verify mobile app. Something to note why these matter is there will be 2 ways to complete multi-factor authentication with Okta. One is through the Okta Verify mobile application, and the second is through receiving a code to your state.gov email. So you'll have options later down the road, but this helps tell our team how to best configure your account. As we scroll down to 4C here, we'll see for profiles and permissions. Note that when you select a request type, you can either select a new user entirely. If you're looking to modify a user so they have a CRM account already, but maybe you're looking to change their permission level from an admin to a standard user or a contacts only user to a CRM user, whatever makes the most sense there. If they already have an account or you're moving them from post to post, modify user is what you'd select. But we'll say John Doe is a new user. And then I'm specifying here which applications they need access to. So from the drop down here, whether he needs CRM, PD tools, or both, but John only needs CRM. So now here in 4C, section C, you select which user type. I'm going to say we're looking for him to be a CRM user, but you can specify whichever one is most appropriate. You are only able to select one. And then the access permission, let's say I want him to have access to our event printing materials. I can select that there as well. Note, for event printing, there is a 5 license per post maximum. So keep that in mind when completing this form to not assign more than applicable. All right, so scrolling down here, we have our PD Tools user type. I'm not requesting anything on behalf of John Doe right now, but if you were to request anything, you would populate this section as well. So that's the end for John. If we scroll down, we're now on page 4 for user 2. You'll repeat the same process as you did with John Doe. So once you've completed the entire form for all the accounts you're requesting, you'll scroll back up to the top here to page 1, essentially specify who's requesting the account, and then later whoever is the supervisor or the authorized official signing it can sign here as well. See our guide on digital signatures on SARFs if you need more assistance.